And we're back on the Friday edition of Ariva Martin in Real Time, Avi Bernard, and I'm joined by comedian and filmmaker Alycia Cooper. She has a comedy album out called Alycia Cooper for President, a hilarious comedy album, and also a filmmaker with films like Fat Stripper out. Alycia, thanks for joining us again.
Thanks for having me, Avi. I'm just getting my voice back, so I might sound a little strange.
No, you sound great, and I know you got a show tonight too. So you never stop hustling. So I really appreciate you taking the time to talk to us today, because I just really wanted to hear your thoughts on this Katt Williams interview, because we all saw it. I haven't even asked you if you've seen it, but I'm assuming you've at least heard of it, if not seen
Yeah,
the whole
I
thing.
saw it.
Okay, okay,
I saw the whole thing.
yeah, okay. So it's kind of hard not to, because I do follow Shannon Sharp's podcast, Club Shay Shay. Yeah, so I get an alert when he comes out with new episodes, and I saw that there were two episodes or two parts with Katt Williams, and each was over an hour. I was like, wow, okay, well, I'm gonna put that on my list. And then before I could even get to it, I started hearing all this stuff. Like, wow, all right. So I just want to get your just first get your top line reaction to the interview on the whole.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I've never seen anybody get that many likes off of a video that ain't had nothing to do with sex. That's right. I mean, he broke the internet and everybody kept their clothes on. I've never seen that before.
Man.
And Shannon Sharp done made about $1 million off that one episode, because, I mean, it has 16 million views, like, within, like, 24 hours. I mean, it broke the internet, but that's the power of Katt, because Katt does not pull any punches. He don't care,
None.
and you know when you got FU money, you can do that. There's only a few people with FU money, and he's one of them. Dave Chappelle got the FU money, so you know, and that's how he rolls. But Katt rolled like that even before he was this big. But you know, just so many things just listening to it, because these guys go back so far. And Katt came across as a grievance collector, an injustice collector. He done collected every injustice from Comic View 1997, and he done held on to it. And so I'm like, I was crying laughing. I mean, he I call him like he the Jaguar Wright of comedy, because he done tore everybody up and did it all within the first 5 minutes. I mean, I said Shannon ain't even have to ask no questions, because he was just going. And
Man.
I mean, he got every comic, like he got the top 10 hottest comics working right now. He slapped all of them.
Yeah, that's a good point, because I was watching it, and you know, my wife was like, you know, you got to watch this interview, and I was like, well, I'm gonna watch it, and then she's like, no, you really got to watch it like now, and so I put it on later that night, and I was like, wait a second, and I was just like, this sounds like a monologue. It was just like him going off on this person, that person, and Shannon was like, oh, okay, and basically right after the introduction, Katt's like, yeah, thank you for the introduction, that was great, and then just bop 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 bop, just basically started shooting people, just like out the blue. Shannon didn't even ask him nothing. It was just like, wow, this is how we're starting out the gate. Oh my God!
I was like, this is the third day of the new year, and he done set it off. You how you ask somebody how was your day, and you really don't care how it was, but they go on for 3 hours. You be like, ooh, I regret asking that question, pretending to care. And so that's how Katt did. But Shana had me cracking up, because he kept making sound effects, and you can't say that. Ooh, ooh, like he was
Come
watching
on,
a car
Katt.
accident. Come on, Katt, here, like he watching a train wreck in real time. And I said, oh, Shannon want them guys to come back on his show, so he don't want to laugh too hard to seem complicit. But he was, let me tell you something. I mean, Katt got everybody. He got everybody. But one thing I like about Katt Williams is he is telling the truth about the fact that he puts very funny comedians on his tour.
Okay.
Most comics at his level don't do that. They put the least funniest, biggest busters in front of them, so that the audience don't laugh until they hit the stage. And they do that for two reasons. One, so they can sing like a king or a queen of comedy. And two, because these busters ain't getting paid that much, so they get to keep more of it. Katt puts heavy hitters in front of him, and pays them top dollar. And he's not lying about that. And Katt is one of the male comics who gives female comics opportunities. You see a lot of these male comics, everybody around him is a male too. Katt really, he really gives opportunities to female comedians.
And that's amazing, and he does come off as very genuine. I don't know about a lot of things he was saying, but you do work in these clubs. A lot of the clubs he was mentioning, like you're there all the time, and you've come across a lot of these people. Have you ever had an interaction with Kat?
No, I never have. I've only been in the same room with him one time. Because Katt hit it big so long ago that now he's doing arenas. The only way I would see him is if either I'm on the show and I'm not, or if I was in the audience and I'm working too. So I never see Katt. He's out of my realm. Like he's in the stratosphere of comedy. So no, I've only been in the room with him one time, and that was at the Comedy Store.
So now when you see him saying things like just coming out and calling Cedric the Entertainer a walrus and Steve Harvey, Mr. Potato Head, and just all these things. I mean, and I gotta admit, I mean, it was funny to me. I mean, but I mean, do you think that he went too far in any way, or how did you take the kind of the direct shots at some of these other comedians?
I took it like I can't wait to get to that level. I'm going to be talking about their mama. I can't wait to get to that level. Oh, there's such a freedom. It's such a freedom because at the level I'm in, I got to hold it in. He ain't got to hold it in. So I'm just in awe of the people who are at a place in their lives where they don't have to fake the funk. You see, Monique tears up titans of industry. So it's like it's a freedom in that. And everybody can't afford to do that. Like with this whole Palestine-Israel thing, most people can't afford to be vocal about it because, hey, you might end up losing your job. So, but people who are at a certain level where maybe they're retired or they got FU money, they don't care about that. So they get to speak out and say whatever they want to say. Where a lot of people are remaining silent. And that's just a fact of life. But Katt doesn't have to remain silent because he's at the top. He's in the top three of, talked about top comedians working right now.
But I mean, I totally get your point. But to that point though, there are a few other comedians. You mentioned Dave Chappelle, and I don't know if you put Chris Rock in that category or what. But there are a couple other comedians that are up there too. But you don't see them doing interviews like this. You don't see them coming out, calling out their contemporaries like this. Like it seems like he had really personal things. I'm sure that every comedian has personal things with other comedians because it sounds like and this is another thing I want to ask you. He talked about the competitiveness and he said, well, every industry is competitive like that. He compared it to Shannon being playing football and Pepsi and Coke and whatever. But is it that competitive with comedians?
Oh, it's extremely competitive with comedians because the difference in us and athletes have stats. So LeBron can say, "This is why I'm better than this guy." Look at my points total. Look at my rebounds per game. We don't have stuff like that. The only thing we have is our yearly salary. What did somebody pay you last year? You know what I'm saying? Like you can say, I'm better than you because I made $10 million last year. You made $1 million. But that's a metric. But we don't have the stats. So, that's the difference. Like it is competitive. And for black people, it's even more competitive because we feel like there can only be one of us, at a time. So too many of us are clawing each other down or not happy when one another gets something. And it's not for the weak, as David Arnold used to say.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man, you just brought up David Arnold, man. I was so tore up to hear about that when he passed away. But do you ever do what Katt said and count the laughs that other comedians get, and then compare them to the number of laughs that you get?
No, I've never been that competitive. But see, but that's one thing that he said that I didn't agree with.
Okay.
Like, I didn't agree with the amount of laughs you get in a minute because some people are storytellers.
Right, right.
You know, one of the baddest storytellers is Bill Cosby. If you go see Bill Cosby in an arena, Bill Cosby telling a story, you might be listening to silence for about 3 minutes. You know, he got some little jokes in between, but at the end of that long story is a punch that gives an eruption. You know what I'm saying? So it depends on the type of comic you are. There's one-liner comics. You know, there's storytelling comics. So counting the amount of laughs is not necessarily the most accurate way.
Yeah, and I would agree. I would agree with that. I would agree with that.
Yeah, and one thing he said is the truth. The audience's opinion is the only opinion that matters. And they will let you know if you go to a show and there's a lineup and there's 6 comics on that lineup, and when the show is over, if you ask the people who did you like the most out of those 6 people, they'll tell you. And there's really no rhyme or reason. What that means is what you said resonated with them more than what the other people said resonated with them.
That makes total sense. And so I want to go back to what I was about to ask you, though, about, you know, you said that he has the FU money and he can say what he wants. But what about why don't we see interviews like that from the other comedians that are at his level?
Well, I think everybody's trying to play nice because they're still trying to get in films. They're still trying to get on TV shows. You don't want to have the reputation of being difficult to work with. And a lot of people have been taken off of projects that they didn't even know they was about to get because somebody bigger squashed their name once it came up.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying? So you don't want to piss off Cedric the Entertainer. Katt feel like he bigger than Cedric the Entertainer. You don't want to piss off a Steve Harvey. Katt feel like I'm bigger than Steve Harvey. He feels like there's nothing these guys can do to me. Everybody else, very few people feel that way.
Yeah, exactly.
So, you know, you want to play nice. I call this living room conversations. The stuff I say in my living room ain't meant for public consumption. Just because I don't like this person, they don't have to know it.
Right.
You know, when we were growing up, people would say stuff like, don't let your enemies know they're your enemies. But now people feel like, I'm going to let you know. And who knows? Who knows how much stuff Katt has been kept off of?
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Who knows indeed? And, you know, some things came up from this interview that I wasn't aware of, like his interview with Wanda Smith. Is that something that you were aware of prior, or is that something that you
Yeah.
Oh, so you had heard about that before?
Yeah, that video was only second to the Jamie Foxx, Doug Williams roast video. You know, I mean, that was second only to that, as far as how it killed the internet. And yeah, I knew about it as soon as it happened because it got so crazy that her husband went after Katt with a gun that weekend after the shows was going on because he was so pissed off at how Wanda had been treated. You know, so no, that thing, especially probably because I'm in the comedy community, I would hear about it. But I watched the video. I mean, whoo! I mean, he tore her up. You can't even debate. You can't roast somebody who's a roast master.
No.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Because you're going to look bad. You know, and if she had some better comebacks, she wouldn't have looked so bad. She needed better comebacks, or don't even try to go back and forth with him if you don't have the weapons in your arsenal, because Katt is a genius.
Yeah, that was like those prime Mike Tyson knockouts where he would just step in the ring and then they would get knocked out in like 28 seconds. That was like what that was. He just slapped her around verbally, of course. It was so bad because I went and watched it after seeing the Katt Williams interview. I was like, what is this that they're talking about? And wow, it was like, and now that you mentioned that Jamie Foxx, the I Am Your Conscience video. Oh man, that's a good comparison. But I mean, you know, we're almost out of time with you. I know you have a show coming up, but I wanted to make sure that there's nothing that big from that interview that you took away that we haven't talked about yet, because there was so much in there. It was just so much in there. I mean, it was 2.5 hours, And so,
Yeah.
was there anything else that that really grabbed you? Like, oh wow, I can't believe he said that, or he was right about this, or he shouldn't have said that, or I wish he would have gone a little further with it. I mean, I guess probably no one wished he would have gone a little further because he went all out. But I mean, I guess you see what I'm saying. Just anything else that kind of really grabbed your attention.
I mean, the fact that he went after them dudes' wives. He said they all got light-skinned wives with weird faces. I'm like, so now we slapping people that don't even have nothing to do with them.
Man.
So I was like, God dang.
Man.
You know, so it was a whole lot of down low insinuations and all kinds of stuff going on in this video. And he's right, when it comes to Hollywood, you're going to get same-sex tested. It don't matter if you're a man or if you're a woman, you're going to get same-sex tested. And, hey, some people have made it a long way by giving in.
Wow. Yep. He said, oh, yeah, when he said one of my main goals was to have my my bleep hole be virgin and still get to this level, that was wild. That was wild. Oh, but Alycia, I know you have a show tonight. Can you tell us where we can see? Or is it in LA? Where's your show tonight?
Yeah, my show tonight is at the Comedy Store on Sunset. I got an 8 o'clock spot, so I'm 8 o'clock tonight on Sunset Boulevard at the Comedy Store.
And where can we keep up with you online?
They took my Instagram page down.
Is that why I haven't seen you posting lately? Okay.
Never say anything. No, they took my page down talking about community guidelines, but they never told me what exactly I violated. So it's like, and then when they snatch it, they like, you can appeal it, but then they don't give you a way to appeal it. So it was a mess. So I started a new page. It's just Alycia Cooper 2023. But they were like, it's brand new. So they were like 300 people on it. Like, I'm literally starting from scratch.
That is so weak, man. They'll take you off, but it's been someone who's been impersonating me for years. And they didn't got so many complaints. People always DM me like, is this you? I'm like, no, it's not me. Can you please report this? Okay, I reported it. And I reported to Instagram, and they won't take it down, but they'll take your page down. Unbelievable.
Yeah. And they took the last thing I did when I got taken down. This racist dude was saying all this stuff like, that's why your people are at the bottom, dead at the bottom of a ship, and all this kind of stuff. So I responded in kind. They took my page and let him keep his.
Of course. See, man, that really bothers me. But
yeah, you should never lose your page or never be flagged for responding.
Right.
You know, that's like when the referee catch you foul but didn't catch the first person.
Exactly. They always catch the response, and that person gets flagged. But
it's like, well, you ain't just see him knock me in my chest.
Exactly. You get pushed and you push them back, and then you the one that gets the flag. But Alycia, thank you so much for joining us. Very funny comedian. Check out her comedy album, Alycia Cooper for President, on Apple Music, and other outlets. Thank you so much for your time, Alycia. Really appreciate you.
Thank you. My specials on Tubi as well. On Tubi, so catch it there too.
All right, on Tubi, it's called Alycia Cooper for President. Thank you, Alycia. Have a good one. Have a great show tonight.
All right, have a good weekend. Thank you.
All right, you too.
Bye-bye.
Take care.